Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my Q&A video that I asked you guys to give me questions for so long ago. I'm so sorry that took so long, but I'm just getting around to it and I just thought I would film it for you guys. I am just sitting here pretty relaxed. I have a glass of wine. This is going to be a long video, so grab some snacks, grab yourself a glass, and let's get right into it. So for those of you who are new, my name is Carrie. I am a flight attendant. I've been a flight attendant for about 6-7 months, so I'm still pretty new, but with this job you have a lot of experiences in a pretty short amount of time. If I butcher anyone's name, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to try my best to pronounce them correctly. So the first question is from Annabelle BBY, and she says, rudest passenger stories. So I honestly don't have a lot of rude passengers, so I kind of have the belief that if you treat people well, they will do the same in return. Of course, you know, you do just have some people who have had a really bad day, no matter how nice you are or the best amount of customer service you can give them, they're still not going to be happy. You do get that, but I mean, traveling can really stress some people out, especially with delayed flights and that sort of thing. So I'm trying to think of anything in particular, but nothing's really coming to mind. I did recently just have a man who, our flight was, oh my gosh, it just started downpouring outside. Oh my gosh, okay. Who our flight was delayed. I had been delayed for that 4-day trip. Literally every single day I was delayed, and they had been delayed for, I want to say, 2 or so hours, and the whole flight he was just shaking his head at me, and I'm like, I have no idea why you're shaking your head at me. And so during my beverage service I was like, is there anything I can help you with? Like, is there anything I can do to make your flight more enjoyable? And he said no. Didn't even like want anything from the cart, and I was like, okay. And then the whole time during landing, just shaking his head at me. So I don't know, that was kind of weird. Cameron Kramer said, what's your worst traveling experience? So I don't know if it's just because I am a flight attendant and I'm kind of used to delays that I don't really think that I've had like a horrible travel experience, because I'm just used to it. I mean, it's not fun when you are traveling and you get delayed, but there's not really anything that sticks out in my head where like it was a horrible hotel, it was a horrible flight, like everything just went wrong. But it isn't fun, you know, for passengers and for us flight attendants and the whole crew when we have delayed flights and things just never seem to go right. Like, that's not fun, and it happens on almost a daily basis. So it's just something that you kind of have to get used to in this lifestyle. And then quickly, before I forget, I know a lot of you guys ask me what size my Apple Watch is. I believe it's a 32 millimeter. I will double check that and leave it listed below, and I'll put it on the screen. And then I also get asked a lot what self-tanner I use. I use the Saint Tropez self-tanner and the Selfie self-tanner, and I'll leave those both listed below too, as well as a video all about it. I have from Amanda Bondi. I am a teacher and my dream is to be a flight attendant. I'm scared to give up my teaching job though. Do you have any regrets becoming a flight attendant? I do not have any regrets becoming a flight attendant. I think it is an amazing job if you want to see the world and if you like that sort of lifestyle. It's definitely, being a flight attendant is a lifestyle. It's not just a job. You're constantly going to different places, living out of your bags. You have to be very organized. You have to really be on top of things. Welcome from Milwaukee. How do you keep your ears from popping and getting nauseous on the plane? And that's from Hey Jude. Hey, so in the beginning of flying, I did find myself feeling a little bit nauseous because I do get seasick. With time, it got better. And then, of course, you know, the old trick of chewing gum, that will help with the ears popping. And I also heard ginger. So those are a few things to help you. Emily's World said, do you have to pay for your hotel? And you're so pretty. Thank you. I do not have to pay for my hotel. The airline pays for all of your hotels and shuttles to and from the airport. Sophia said, how did you become a flight attendant and flight attendant pet peeves? I love your channel, girl. Keep it up. Thank you. I honestly just graduated college and I started applying to all these airlines, and I heard back from one, and it was like within a week. I didn't really do my research. I didn't know the difference between mainline, regional, any of that. So I went to the interview, got the job on the spot, started training a week later, and then started hearing back from the mainline companies. So it all happened really fast for me. And flight attendant pet peeves. So my biggest pet peeve is when I'm staying at a hotel and you are there after a long day of work and your room key doesn't work. And then you go down and it doesn't work again, or if like you get to the room and someone's already in it, like you have to go back downstairs because you just have to carry all that luggage downstairs, and it's like, oh, I've been doing this all day, I'm so tired. Another pet peeve is when people leave their stuff in the aisle, or like put their entire leg in the aisle, because you know, as flight attendants we have to walk back and forth quite often, and it just kind of annoying when you have to like wind and dive through everyone. Kaylee Bakerman said, when did you know that you want to be a flight attendant? I kind of had a feeling that it was something that I'd want to pursue during college, because I love to travel. Me and my old roommate kind of talked about it here and there jokingly, like, oh, we can be flight attendants together, and I really love traveling. I love the feeling of being at new clean hotels and just experiencing new things. So I didn't know what I wanted to do after college, so I just kind of went for it, and I've been loving it. Anna Catherine said, how long does it take to be a full-time flight attendant? So to be a flight attendant, you go through training after you get your conditional job offer, also known as a CJO. And after training, if you do make it all the way through, you are on reserve for a certain amount of time. This all, like, the timing all depends on which airline you're at. For me, I will be a reserve flight attendant for approximately 8 or 9 months before I get a line. Each airline does have a minimum amount of hours that you have every month. So my minimum is 75 hours that I am guaranteed, and then you can exceed up to, like, I'm not really sure that number, but you do start off being, I'd say, a full-time flight attendant. I wouldn't say that there's really part-time. I might not be right about that, but I'd say right off the bat, because you can always also pick up trips on your downtime. It's all about how much work you put into it and how much you want to fly. Carrie, I love your videos, and I've been thinking about becoming a flight attendant. What are the pros and cons of being a flight attendant? And that's Kelly Fogarty. Thank you so much. The pros are definitely getting to see all these new places. The flight benefits are incredible. You get to fly anywhere and then have your friends and family on your flight benefits, and they get to travel for a really great price. The cons is definitely not being home every night and having to live out of a suitcase, and your days off you have to be doing your laundry, kind of getting yourself back together. So it's definitely a lifestyle, but I think I really like being a flight attendant because I'm not looking at the clock all the time. My days fly by. It doesn't even feel like I'm working really. So yeah, I think that being a flight attendant, it's just a really great job, because it's not like you're sitting at a desk all day like, is it 5 o'clock yet? You know, you don't have that sort of schedule where it's the same thing every single day. Like, it's very different every single day. Alexis Smulch said, do you ever get bored of traveling with your job? Or do you ever get bored of traveling / your job? I don't, honestly. Being with a regional airline, you only go to so many different places, and I've been to the places quite a few times, multiple times, and I don't get tired of them, because it's there's so many different places to explore. But I mean, ask me in 30 years and I'll let you know. Susan Brown said, I wonder, what do flight attendants do if they are prone to airsickness? I, in the beginning, did get a little airsick, but with time, it honestly just went away. And then I saw at TJ Maxx recently, they have like little bracelets that you can wear so that you don't get sick while flying. I would also say, I think that there's some really good home remedies that you can find on Pinterest. Like I said, the ginger, that could really help too. Maya Vishnia said, where are you from and what's your favorite airport that you've been to? I am from Illinois, around the Chicagoland area, and my favorite airport that I've been to is probably, I really like, it might be the one in North Dakota. It's very like woodsy. Like you look up and the whole ceiling is like made of wood. It was really nice architecture. It was somewhere in either North Dakota or South Dakota. So Emma Taylor says, I'm a flight attendant in Australia. So it's super cool to see how different things are. Are you the only flighty on board, and what are your grooming regimens for hair? So I am the only flight attendant on my aircraft, so I don't really find that I need to wash my hair too often, just because all I do is tease it and put it back in a ponytail. So it's not down, you can't really see the grease, and I use dry shampoo constantly. Atrovars, I'm pronouncing that wrong. Do you get extra pay on your layovers? I know Emirates crew get an envelope with cash for their expenses. So I do not get an envelope with cash. I do get paid per diem, which means I get paid a amount per hour that I'm away from my base, and that is supposed to cover the expenses, which it doesn't. But yeah, I do get paid for that. Logan Lynn said, what made you want to become a flight attendant? It looks like it would be so much fun. Did you ever want to be anything else, and how old are you? So again, I wanted to become a flight attendant because of traveling, and I didn't really have anything in mind, anything else in mind that I'd want to be. So that's why I kind of just went for this. But I am 23 years old. I will be 24 on August 25th, so it's coming up pretty soon. I'm really excited. Karen Lopez says, does the constant traveling affect your social life? It does actually affect my social life. Me and my friends and my boyfriend and family have such different schedules because they have work during the week and then they're off on weekends. And for me, that is not the case. I do not have a set hours from like 9 to 5. So it does affect it, because when my family's going out to dinner for a birthday, I might be out of town. You just have to try your best to really balance it all out. A lot of people said, are you mainline or regional? So right now I am at a regional airline. Andrea Kasterki said, what is your experience with crash pads? How do you keep yourself from going insane with packing? Laundry question mark. I travel by car for my job, and keeping stuff in order without overpacking is tough. I'd like to hear your thoughts. So I do not have a crash pad, but I live at my parents' house, my boyfriend's house, and then when I travel. So I kind of have the feeling of it all. It does kind of drive me insane because I don't have all my stuff in one place at the same time. So I cannot wait to move into my own apartment. It's just really, it's difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't imagine being a commuting flight attendant, but I might have to be one day, so I really need to get used to that thought. But it's a lot of organization and kind of just being flexible and going with the flow. Like, SD said, love your videos. One question for the Q&A video. Do you get bored of doing makeup every day? It's such a long process. I will never get bored of doing makeup. I love makeup so much. My camera turned off. But when I am waking up at 4 a.m. some days, I do not do the full glam shabam. But for me being comfortable, I do always have to put on some sort of makeup, and just so that I look presentable for the airline. Renee Stuckey said, question regarding the uniforms. After a long flight, do you try to wash dry the uniform before the next trip the following day, or do you just spot wash or take a spare uniform? So if I'm on a trip, I do not have time to wash it just because you're in a hotel. So I'll spot wash it. Between trips, I definitely wash my uniforms, absolutely. And I do have a spare uniform. Bree Hopkins says, when you travel, how do you go out to eat? Who do you go out to eat with, and so on? The other employees you go on the flight with? So yeah, I am on a crew of me and the captain and first officer. So it depends what kind of crew you have. and if they're in the mood to go out or if it's been a long day. But yeah, I definitely go out to eat with my crew all the time to explore the different places. It's so much fun. I really love that aspect of it. Matthew C says, are you a reserve flight attendant and have to bid for your trips, or do you have a regular schedule? Love the video, by the way. It's the first video I've ever watched from you, but I'll definitely stick around for more. I subscribed. Thank you. I am a reserve flight attendant, so I bid for a line telling me what days I have off and what days I am on reserve. So the reserve could end up turning into a trip. It could be home reserve or airport reserve. So the only thing I really know are the days I have off and the days I'm working. I don't really know where I'm going, how long I'll be gone, that sort of thing. Rochelle Harriet says, my question is, are you or have you ever been afraid of flying? Or been afraid before flying? I haven't. I used to kind of be not 100% about flying. Like, I didn't know what the risks were or how dangerous it was. But after being a flight attendant and seeing what kind of goes on in the cockpit and what it's like, I have 100% faith, and I'm so, I feel so safe. So I have no fear in flying. Alexandra Nicole says, what are some of your favorite perfumes, body sprays that you always find yourself reaching for? And also, what are your favorite things to order when you go out to eat? So I really love Gucci Guilty. I love, this is an old one, Jessica Simpson Fancy. And when I go out to eat, anything with carbs. I love pizza. I love pasta. I love Mexican food. I always get fajitas and tacos and enchiladas. Love all those sorts of things. Isabel Danes says, what is your best advice you would give to a nervous flyer? Love you so much. Been following you from the start. Thank you. Honestly, my Aunt Patty is a very nervous flyer. So is my dad. The best advice I can give, which this is really crappy advice, is don't be nervous. If you look up statistics, you will see that flying is so safe. I don't really have advice on how to get over your fear because it's just something that you have to conquer yourself, you know. But from flight attendants, you'll hear us say that we've seen what goes on in the cockpit. You see, it's like when you're in the sky and you're up there, it's kind of like the road. Like, you can see in the daytime the other planes. You can like see where they're at. You can see if they're down there, you can see if they're up there, like, and they're on the screen. It's very safe. I 100% feel safe flying. I never really question it, even if it's kind of like a rocky landing. I'm like, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Erin Connor said, any advice for someone who is wanting to become a flight attendant? Love you, girl. Thank you. Love you. If you want to become a flight attendant, definitely just apply. Apply everywhere. So for me, when I first started, I applied everywhere. I didn't get the airline that I wanted right away, but I didn't really know the difference between them. But you can always reapply. If you work regional, you can always go to mainline. The first thing that you have to do is just apply and then do your research. Just do your research before getting to the interview. I have a whole video about the video interview. I'm going to do another video about the face-to-face interview. The DIY Life says, where is the most interesting place you have been as a flight attendant? Also, what is the longest flight that you have been a flight attendant for? I love you and your videos. Thank you. So, working for a regional airline, we have short flights. So my longest flight is like 2 hours and 30 minutes or something like that, 3 hours. My most interesting place I've been to as a flight attendant would have to be Maine. I really, really liked Maine. It was so unique, and I loved the style that they had there, like the brick walkways. Like, it was such a gorgeous place, and the food was so good. And that trip, I had the best crew. I had such a great crew. It's Kelsey Life says, what's your scariest turbulence story? Also, met any celebrities on a flight? So I don't really have too many scary turbulence stories. I have met some celebrities, so I'll leave their names here, but I had on my flight the janitor from Scrubs. He's also the dad from In the Middle. I had a character from Star Wars, and I met John Cusack. Alyssa Selena says, do you ever want to fly international? Absolutely. She also said, I love your vlogs. Thank you. I cannot wait to work mainline and fly international. But with the company I'm with right now, the only international flight we do is Canada. But I cannot wait to fly international and show you guys those places. She also said, are there especially rules with clothing, accessories, and makeup? Are you allowed to wear different shoes than the ones you have? Accessories and makeup, obviously with clothing you wear your uniform. What you wear outside of there is your own personal preference, but you want to be tasteful when you're around your coworkers for sure. Accessories and makeup, tasteful. Everything has to be tasteful. And accessories for each airline, I think that they have a certain amount of accessories. So for me, 1 ring per hand, unless if it's like your wedding ring, you could have the wedding band and the ring, and then 1 bracelet, 1 watch, 1 pair of earrings, not double pierced, 1 necklace, that sort of thing. You can definitely wear your own type of shoes. There is, like I said, every airline has different requirements, but for mine it has to be 2 inches or lower, but you have to wear some sort of heels, and then once you get on the aircraft you can switch into flats. Andrew Stevens says, I know you're into country music, but what's your opinion on other types of music? For example, rap and hip-hop. So I love all types of music, to be completely honest with you. I love country music, I love rap, I love like EDM style, I love reggae. Like, I honestly love every type of music except for probably opera, but I'm sure I could probably get into it somehow. Love Z says, hi Carrie, I was wondering what is your Apple Watch size and can you give your review on it? How useful is it as a flight attendant? Thank you. So I'll leave the size listed over here somewhere or in the description box, but I absolutely love my Apple Watch. It lets me know how many calories I've burned throughout the day. I love the timer on it so that I can see how long we've been into the flight. And there's so many apps on there that's super helpful. So like, I use the United app a ton and it shows me updates on there if my phone's not right next to me. So I find it very useful. But Jessica Carpenter said, where is the yellow gold pink ring from that you're always wearing? So I'm actually wearing them today. They are from SOUFEEL. I'll leave the links listed below. But these are always the rings I'm wearing. So that is it for this video. I really hope that it wasn't too long. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit that little red button and subscribe. And I've been posting on my Facebook page, so if you guys are at all interested, go ahead and follow me on there. I'll leave the link listed below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!